Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So I know specifically what I want to talk about today, and it kind of came from yesterday's video. So I'm a busy person. As soon as I wake up till I go to bed and I put my head on the pillow, I've never had a moment to myself. I keep telling people, I feel like an elastic band that's been stretched that won't go back. I just have so much work to do. And thankfully, by the end of this week, I've given up a huge majority of all that responsibility and things will be different. But I just have to make it through this week and things will be great. Hop up. Okay, but right now things are rushed. They are. And so my routine is I do my morning things. I do everything that the house needs. I sit down, I make my video. I upload my video to YouTube. I don't even have time to put the description because I always forget to copy and paste it from the previous one. I drive to work, and by the time I get to work, it might be uploaded so that I can add the description. So as I was walking my Cooper yesterday, that's you. I got the message that somebody's gonna see the video and take offense to it. The title of the video was called Making a Mountain Out of a Molehill. And so they said, if you could just put a little disclaimer to this person that this reading is not for you, that this happened because you're gonna get through it and help so many people. But I've been so busy. By the time I got to work, they say it in the newsletter all the time. Please let Christy have the first hour so that she could set up both, because I run 2 clinics, set up both clinics, answer emails, do all that stuff. If you have a question, please send it in an email. Just give her that time so that so she can do it. But that doesn't happen ever. As soon as I walk in the door, I'm always bombarded with students. And I love the students, but sometimes a problem a week from now isn't important when it's focusing on the moment. And so, you know what? I didn't put the description up. I didn't have time. Normally I get to work and I add it. It's like 2 minutes, but I didn't even get that 2 minutes yesterday. And so when I woke up, I saw a comment on my video and something awful happened to them. And my first response was like, oh no, like feeling so bad. And I do feel bad because, you know, Spirit did warn me. But you know what? I can't kick myself because I didn't have time. There literally is no more of me to give. And that's why life is going to be changed. Next month, nothing will be the same. I've left and cut ties and change because it's just not healthy to be pulled to that max. And so I do feel like there's a lesson in it. And so my first reaction was, you know, apology, all this, I'm so sorry. I actually had this message was supposed to put down, but I didn't do it. So I don't expect you to believe me, right? Oh, she could say that. That's how I see. But they're like, I go on my day and Spirit's like, go back and read the last line. So I go back and I reread it all. And now I'm picking up on this sarcastic, backhanded tone. And there's a few things she said in there. Right, something bad did happen. She's like, I'm not the learner anymore. And that's just something. You'll be a learner your whole life. You are a student of life. Everything here teaches you every day. You will forever be the learner. But the thing that really got me was, and I might butcher it, but it's pretty much along the lines of like, your words weren't helpful, blah, blah, blah. You can take yourself elsewhere. And I was like, what? Like, I sit down at the same place, at the same time, and I upload it to the same place, my channel. And so you came to my channel and clicked my video. How am I supposed to go somewhere else when you're coming to me? And maybe, I thought about it, I'm like, maybe this video came up in the algorithm and she has like pre-play on. But the title said, making a mountain out of a molehill. If you know that your situation does not apply to that title, why did you watch it? Why did you try to take something that you know is not meant for you? Because I was like, should I take that video down? And Spirit's like, no, like you're going to help hundreds, if not thousands of people. And I'm sorry that one person did get hurt. But here's the word and the theme that I want to talk about. It's called discernment. Especially, you need discernment in all areas of life, absolutely. But especially if you are going to be watching readings, especially collective readings. A collective reading is not a personal reading. A collective reading is tapping into the majority of energies and getting the message that lots of people need to hear. If you wanted a personal reading, it would have been so different. It would only be you. And so discernment is learning how to, it's like spiritual foresight of seeing through things and being able to discern and judge what's meant for you. An example is, I watch readers as well, and I like just to hear, like, they're totally different. The people I watch, we're totally different places. Mine's all about, I feel like mine's like school and teaching, and theirs is more like humor and funny things. But one reading I watched once, not a single thing of that reading was for me. I just like watching their style and their personality. But there was one word, and I got my aha moment. And they talked about the Count of Monte Cristo. And all of a sudden my guides were like, whoosh. And I felt it. And so then I went and started reading the Count of Monte Cristo. And by reading that book, I'm still not finished. I'm at the part where they just escaped. So now the adventure starts. We just broken the shackles and the bonds and escaped imprisonment from the wrongful doings. But in all of that is where my insights came from that reading. That reading was not meant for me. Most of the things were meant for other people. But I'm not going to say like, this doesn't, I don't know. I just felt that was really weird to see a title that you know is not for you and still watch it and get so enraged and need to, I think the one comment was like, blah, 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 hun. I'm like, I'm not your hun. I'm not. Can't really talk to me that way because we're not like that. Because I know the way that you meant it was meant to make me feel bad. And I don't regret putting up that video because it will help so many people. So today, I just want to pull cards on discernment. What does Spirit have to say for discernment? Because maybe I wasn't meant to put that little blurb. Maybe this is the learning thing. And you'll forever be a learner of life. No matter what you go through, no matter what situation, you will forever keep learning. So let's pull some cards and get back to my busy day. Whoa. Okay, so the first card that came out is the Queen of Swords. And the reason why I smile is because I've been thinking very, very, very hard and deep about Queen of Swords energy. I know I'm a Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords can say truth, right? She's very truthful. She's very intellectual and she speaks truth. But the truth can come out and it could be brash to some. And And so I've been really trying, because I always want to come off as understanding, compassionate, kind. But lately, I just found that I've had to be the Queen of Swords energy, right? And so one person who pops up into my head, I think it was Debbie Ford. I remember watching one of her speeches, and she talked about how one of her biggest fears was for people to call her a bitch. She just wanted people to know, like, that she was nice, that she was kind and caring. And so I resonate so deeply on this, because I don't want to yell or get mad, or, those are just emotions that I try to avoid. You want to stay calm and centered, but they're telling me that those emotions are showing that boundaries have been crossed. And so all week I've been thinking about the times where I've had to be like, hey, I just found out that this one guy is scared of me. And it's because I have to keep expressing my boundaries because they're always being crossed. Like I said in the newsletter, please let Christy have this time to this time. When you constantly come to me every day with something that's it's not life or death, I had to be like, sorry, like, I don't have time for you right now. That's all I said. And to them, they're like, whoa. And so to me, I don't want people to be afraid of me. But if you keep disrespecting a boundary, you have to make those lines. And so don't feel bad, right? I keep hearing, I feel people tapping into my energy, and they used to be like, what happened to her? She used to be so sweet. And I am, and I still am, but I'm not naive anymore, and I'm not easily manipulative, and I do stand up, and I will speak out. And sometimes you just have to say things really quick, right? Like if I'm focusing on something, I'm in an important email, and I say, sorry, I don't have time for you, like, and I have to get back, like, maybe it does come off as quick or brash. But the next card is the Justice in reverse. Things need to be balanced. And I keep telling people, I'm this elastic band that's being pulled, and I can't go back because I'm not able to ever finish one task before someone is, I'm always being pulled, everybody, which is unhealthy. And so once I started expressing this to people and like putting the boundaries and starting to like take my energy and bring it back and finding that, people get mad, people don't respect it. And I can't help that. Because let's say if I never do it, I'm gonna get sick again, and I don't have time for that. we just don't have time for that. So when it comes to discernment, you do need to speak up about your boundaries. And when somebody is not respecting them and they're pulling you out of balance, it's so important to speak clearly and not add any extra of the fluff into it, because maybe they're like, oh, she doesn't mean what she says, but mean what you say when you say it. And don't get mad if people call you rude words, because that's them being uncomfortable with their boundary. So discernment, this is what we're talking about. Queen of Swords, she does speak up for what she wants. She has the boundaries. But the Queen of Swords, you see here, right? The moon is right by the mind. It's air energy. It's intellect. She's got the wisdom, the crown. It's being illuminated. You have to get yourself in balance and have your connection so that you can think clearly. Is this message for me? No, like that doesn't feel right at all. Okay, then don't put the boot on, right? You need to, I say ask questions all the time, right? Even if an authority figure tells you to do something and it doesn't feel right to do, why? Ask questions, because maybe there is a hidden ulterior motive, right? But especially as a reader, people watching collective messages, there are so many people going through so many different things, and you know your journey. What I didn't get is if this reading was like the title, like she must have saw it and wanted to get, like why else would you click it? And in that, it talked about the mind and the thinking differently. So maybe that message could have been for her. Like, there's always something in every reading. Like I said, I watched that one reading and it said Count of Monte Cristo. And I was like, what is that? I just knew I needed to go read that book. And that was the biggest blessing in that reading ever for me, because I got a million insights from that one tiny insight. But you know your story, you know your journey. The next card coming out is Strength in reverse. Strength usually has the lion and the sheep. So here we have the snake and the mouse, because we're dealing with guardians of the night. We're dealing with shadows and fears. This is in reverse. There is no control. So the real strength in the strength card, animals only hunt for food. They don't just kill just for fun. It's not sport to them. They're like, what are sports? And so in it, there's the lion and then the lamb, and the lamb is vulnerable and gets to be itself, and the lion gets to be itself. The lion knows that it's a lion and that it could end things in a survival instinct moment. But it holds that strength because it knows, what's the point in doing this right now? There's nothing that will benefit from it. So it's that strength and that control and being open and vulnerable. It's all of it, strength and vulnerability. So here, what I'm seeing, because this was in reverse. So that's what they want to talk about first. This is not having that control of knowing what phase or what time this is. And so if you think that you have control and you know discernment, this is not your message. You know what I mean? This is truly knowing what at what time is for you and what is not. There's a heart here. It's more important to use both, they're telling me. I'm seeing this. He's looking down at it. There is a connection of something. Let me see what this connection is a bit more. What's really getting me is the mouse. It's not quite the snake, it's the mouse. And the mouse looking up to the snake for guidance and and this mouse has the trust. The mouse is like in full heart of like, this is your teacher, the something, but this snake is looking at it like, I will get you. And so this mouse needs to learn discernment. Like, you don't learn from snakes. This is not your message. This is not your teacher. Another word that kept coming up as well from discernment, and I always say it wrong, is equanimous. It's about being equanimous, which is being a void or neutral state, right? When you learn this and you don't, right? Because there's emotions and things. Okay, so when I learned this word, quantumous, was at a Vipassana retreat. And so at a Vipassana retreat, it's not religious. Maybe closest to it would be Buddhism. But you take a vow of silence for 10 days. And in that 10 days, you meditate for 10 and a half hours. And there's a couple teachings, and you eat strict vegetarian. You're not allowed to exercise. You're not allowed to journal. You're not allowed to read. All you do is go within. And so I think that's why I preach it so much, is like, go within, because it was the most empowering. I could see. That's when I detached and I understood how the bubbles of emotions come through and how some are to be released and things like that. If you have spiritual practices, you have to leave everything. You walk in and you are just you. That's the only thing that you're allowed to be at this retreat. And what's great about this retreat is that it's free. It's all ran by donations. If you got value from it, then you can donate, and then that helps the next person. And so I feel called that maybe someone, and this is all over the world, so if you just Google Vipassana retreat, that will help you really learn about being equanimous and the word discernment. By the end of that retreat, like, you don't attach to things. Like, you're so clear. And so the healing card that I pulled is 22. It says Ain Saf R, and they're telling me to read the book. It says, a way through the struggle has already been created for you, and you are being led onto that path. Your authentic soul path may include recognition and acclaim, notable success, and admiration. Be grateful, but do not be dazzled or distracted by such experiences. Focus on what connects you to your heart and grounds you in the simplicity of spiritual truth, which is the practice of love, kindness, and peace. This will allow for successful progress in the material world without disturbing the sanctuary of your soul. And I am happy that I just talked about Vipassana before that, because that's exactly what it is. It's like they don't even want you to get attached to the good feeling emotions. Like, sometimes you'll just have like whatever's trapped is coming out, and sometimes you'll even get like waves of bliss, and they're like, you don't attach to that. Like, you just experience being you. And once you actually know that, then you can have discernment. Then you go out because you're so clear and your intuition is so on key. You're like, nope, that's not for me. Oh, that's for me. Oh, that's not for me. Oh, I feel called to go do this. But remember that collective readings are just that, collective, and maybe even one word of the whole reading could be for you. Maybe no words are for you, but don't listen to every reading and try to fit it into your life when it doesn't fit and when you know that it doesn't. Because now, like, I didn't get the sarcastic undertones and the hun and all those kind of things and telling me to stay in my, it was like, I don't know, it was pretty much like telling me to leave. And I was like, but you came to me. Like, you're in my channel, in my space. So no, I won't. I'm going to make a video and I'm going to upload it. And I'm going to add the description later. And if there's a message, I'm going to try and get it as fast as I can. But I'm also going to be nice to myself, because I know that from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, I haven't even gotten lunch this week. And so I'm being nice with myself and the progress. I went to bed with exhaustion yesterday, and I got woken up being yelled at. Like, people need to start taking a little bit of accountability for their own actions and stop dumping it on others. And if it's not meant for you, just go find what's meant for you. And if it truly angered you, I apologize. But that was never my intention. But it was the last line of that, right? The first part, my heart does go out, and I'm sorry I didn't write the message that they asked me to. But the other half, no. No. I'm going to stay in my channel. I'm going to keep doing what I do. And I really hope that you find your healing, because you really will help so many people on your path. I don't even think you're going to watch this, but other people will watch this and learn about discernment, and that's the whole purpose, and that's the message. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and yeah, discernment. If you don't know about it, go learn about it. And equanimous. I know the word equanimous, but when it changes to the other version, I have such a hard time saying it. It's not Latin or Greek either, so no excuse. All right. Bye, guys.